Hey guys, it's Trashman. Today I have a Last of Us 2 review for you guys. This video is coming out 1 week after the game was released. I wanted to give ample time after my playthrough of the game to be able to give an honest review of this game. Like most people with some of the things that I did not like, I had a very strong first impression with the game. And I wanted to be able to have a clear head when making this instead of in just a blind rage. But without further ado, let's get into it.
2 to the 1, from the 1 to the 3. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe. And I get more ass than a toilet seat.
The first thing I wanted to talk about was what was good about the game, since it is a shorter list. First, the game is stunning visually. It looks great. Specifically, this sequence in the woods really had me sit in awe as I was playing. Seriously, they definitely delivered on the next-gen look. Second, the gameplay is ultra smooth. Even though it's virtually the same as The Last of Us Part 1, when I was playing, it felt like I was in control of Ellie/Abby, and the gameplay is really improved. It feels like I am more in control of engagements, which is a massive thumbs up from me. And lastly, just as in the first game, the soundtrack is masterful. All of the sound mixing and graphic designers and gameplay guys deserve a standing ovation for this one.
2 to the 1, from the 1 to the 3. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe. And I get more ass than a toilet seat.
The biggest thing for me, and I think a lot of the community, is the death of Joel Miller. Now, Joel is the main character of the Last of Us series. He is the most important character of The Last of Us. Since without either Joel or Ellie, the series doesn't have the same charm or likability. That being said, you would think the death of a character of that great importance to a series will get a certain level of respect. I figured it could go down something like this. Ellie gets stuck in a trap akin to the one Joel does in The Last of Us Part 1, and in an attempt to cut her down, Joel dies, but in the process saves Ellie, reinforcing the love he has for her in the mind of the player. However, he did not get that. He got this.
Comfortable 9-iron for him. They're gonna go nuts when he hits this thing.
After this scene, I was stunned and in denial. I assumed that they would bring Joel back somehow, like he would be badly wounded, so we can get one more moment of Ellie and Joel together before he passed. But we didn't. Instead, the rest of the game felt empty without one of my favorite characters in the series. In conclusion, this was a horrible way to kill off a character that was so crucial to the entire series being as popular as it was. And I think it did end up being one of the main points that made this game not as good as it could have been.
2 to the 1, from the 1 to the 3. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe. And I get more ass than a toilet seat.
Let's start with the star of the show, Ellie. Ellie, like Joel, was of course my second favorite character from the first game. She was an awesome kid character, unlike a lot of the kid characters we get nowadays that are whiny and annoying and are overall useless to the game. She was only 14, yet from the way she talked to and looked at Joel in the first game, you could tell she had a level of maturity for being 14. She was clever, funny, and in that infamous David death scene gave me so much respect and love for Ellie as a character. But in the second game, she feels more like just edgy teen character number 327 that is in every movie or game that stars a teenager. This was so easily avoidable, yet somehow they managed to mess up probably the most crucial character in all of The Last of Us. Next, Dina. Holy shit, do I hate this character. Dina is thrust upon the player early in the game, and she is given no character arc other than she kissed Ellie last night. And throughout the game, you learn more about Dina, but since she feels like a replacement for Joel, she's so shittily done as a character. I have no reason to care for her other than because Ellie cares about her. Dina is clearly only in the game to further some agenda, which is really annoying. Ellie is a strong female character. Make her gay. I don't care. But just don't thrust this wannabe Joel-looking ass Dina to replace him. Dina should have stayed in Jackson. And then Dina feels more like an important character because Ellie knows she can't go on a suicide mission to Seattle because she has someone important back home. But instead, she feels more like a pawn in some political stance instead of a likable character. And finally, Abby. Why did this garbage tier villain get 10 hours of playtime in this game? That's a serious question. This character I have no sympathy for killed my favorite character in the whole game, and I didn't even know why. It took a third of the game, which is almost 10 hours, for you as the player to find out the reason this trash character killed Joel. In the first game, one of my favorite antagonists of all time, David, makes an appearance. He is a cannibal, but he gets a sequence in the first game that explains how he is just doing what he can to survive in this horrible situation, even though it may not have been the best way to do it. Abby is just bad to be bad. She isn't surviving. Being bad is her character trait, which could work, however, but I did not need to play her as 10 hours of the game. In conclusion, the characters in this game needed more love and attention to detail.
2 to the 1 to the 3. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe, and I get more ass than a toilet seat.
As I said earlier, the death of Joel really throws this game for a loop. The first game revolves around Joel and Ellie and the father-daughter relationship they develop through a tragedy. This game is a love story, a hard 180 from the last game. The whole of the storyline of this game is Joel die, Ellie get revenge. That's it. And even with such a basic storyline, it feels like it takes a back seat to the Dina and Ellie story, which is wrong. It completely undermines the charm of the first game. All of that work to characterize Ellie and Joel and how they come to love each other as father and daughter. Scrap it. This is about two kids falling in love. No, the story should have went something like this. Someone like Tommy and Dina die in the beginning instead of Joel. Ellie is pissed and she's going to kill the people responsible. Joel, knowing he can't stop her, joins her on the journey for old time's sake. Somewhere along the line, early, Joel gets a more suitable death, like the one that I mentioned before. And Ellie is even more pissed, and you do your thing as Ellie in Seattle. I personally think this is a much better alternative to what we got in The Last of Us Part 2. And it took me and my friend Victor 5 minutes to think of that. And it took a full dev team 5 years to make this steamy pile of hot garbage. In conclusion, the storyline could have been executed much better.
2 to the 1 to the 3. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe, and I get more ass than a toilet seat.
So the last part about me talking about this game contains hella spoilers. But if you got through this much and clicked on a review of this game, you clearly don't care about spoilers. So anyway, throughout this game, you are Ellie enacting your revenge on Abby. You kill hundreds of people to get to the person responsible for the death of Joel. And at the end of the game, you just let her go? I'm sorry, what? All of that torment of your favorite character dying so early in the game just to let Abby walk. How did this ending get the green light? Me and my friend Victor, who is a connoisseur of The Last of Us, said that in this game, if someone important doesn't die, what was the point? Which is true. If Joel never dies, why was there another game? But I'm going to ask that in reverse. If you are put through all of that stress to get revenge, all of that game time playing as Ellie, and the torment she encounters along the way of this journey to get revenge for her father, basically, just to not get revenge, what was the point? Just for Joel to die and for Ellie to lose fingers so she can't play guitar? I didn't quite understand what the point of the ending of this game was. Revenge is futile? That if she enacts revenge, someone will enact revenge on her? Why? Throughout both games, you are shown that people will do anything for the people that they love. Joel shoots Marlene, who is almost a mother figure to Ellie, in order to protect her in the first game. And you're going to throw all of that away to get on the soapbox, to moral high ground on people. I just don't get this decision at all.
2 to the 1 to the 3. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe, and I get more ass than a toilet seat.
For a rating, I would give this game a 4 out of 10. The story of this game holds it back from greatness so heavily that I cannot in good faith give this game anything other than a 4. The gameplay is 10 out of 10. The sound and graphics are also 10 out of 10. But the story is a stout 2 out of 10 and cannot be judged as anything but that. I personally would never buy this game. Watch someone on YouTube or Twitch play it and save yourself the $60. Seriously. For this last section, I asked Victor if he would rebuy this game since he bought it on the Friday it came out, and I went to his house to play it, so I never actually bought this game. So I wanted to know his honest thoughts about rebuying this game. The final thing, Victor, that we're going to leave this video off with, would you rebuy this game?
Not for $60, dude.
What would it have to be for you to
no
rebuy
way.
it?
I would buy it for $5 used, or borrow it from a friend.
I mean, that's what I did, and I'm so glad. I kind of felt bad. I was like, should I give Victor like some money? Cause holy fuck, it's so shitty.
I just feel like so often like I would play like for an hour, I'd be like, oh dude, like, okay, that was pretty. Like, this is fun, dude, and then like just get to like some shitty part of the story. And I'm like, dude, I'm playing Red Dead 2 now. Like, it just
well, dude, and I remember. So a little context when I completely forgot The Last of Us 2 was coming out last Friday. Completely forgot. And you texted me on Wednesday, and I'm pretty sure you were like, yo, we're playing The Last of Us 2 on Friday, right? And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm down. I just have not played the first one. I've had a PlayStation for 10 plus years. I've never played it. And I remember you gave it to me on Wednesday, either Wednesday or Thursday. And I finished the game in 3 days. I'm pretty sure I played for almost 10 hours one day because I was so into the game. I wanted to play more. Because the first one was just so
game,
good.
Dude.
No,
you
like you said,
an hour at a time.
you play an hour, and as soon as you hit a cutscene, you don't want to play anymore. It's like, wow, I remember why I'm not playing this game. It's because the story blows, dude.
Yep.
News story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.